access to mobile phones affordable. And the mobile companies, no, you're bedding Kita home. Now the mobile phones, no, I'm a nipa, not Mafia, what here, 1 city, 2 cities, 1 city, 2 cities, Kakra, Namotia, mobile phone before 80, yeah, scheme, no, every Obia, because we need everybody to have a smart device. We will make it easy for people.
Who were 277 houses? Ebikura unim babi ewo. Isile Gwankwano who over 100 houses yate. Echina nopa. Monkwa Ken City Media. Monkwa ha. Adwumayfo amu wo hanom no. Wo mu nuru 30. Ken City Media workers. Wo mu nuru 30. Mu ba kokura ni wa oti ufie.
Chimehu mahwe nkrofo kro uko Dubai omukura no na ye desert enso omukura nya epo abaho omadreje ayade ba kwa mpese me yema kumase man ha se me dreje ama epo ebi abaha na yetimi de ship ni ade so de normal ba 2024 na afenye ebetwi container 1111 from Accra harbor edi aba itema harbor edi aba kumase ebi okra itiki be 6 hours and sana container ba ko pe wedura ebi dura no so na normal be se half a container ni nyina ebi agubu abra.
All right, for this is the debate with Munufi, and then so my son Ebabim live on the show. I mean, nyina Ebabim komo about now here how I started the show. You could foresee say there were a lot of topics and they be discussing. So the reason why another than Kufa have decided to say Alaji Dr. Bawumia and Yadi obedient the chibium essence of Papano and kind of correct or Dadano or Nimguasia for we're going to address that today. Me say the wako and Tokwabi at TSC NPP ma BRYAN to be man Alaji Dr. Bawumia reply can the Japan BRYAN side in Chile Munso Abba. I bet him the reason why Ghanaians and for that matter NPP should reject Alaji Dr. Bawumia and say upon Oye and Nada for. If we are at the latter part of the show, no. Pachomo kind of Kwame Bediako. CHEDDAR. Papai. And the policies, we buy 12 pillar policies of Nana Kwame Bediako. We're going to address that and see, say, is it actually possible, say, we could actually implement some of those policies and programs, you know, into Abuja for Mama Yenshasi.
Data brings light. People who don't like light don't like data. So when you see a politician trying to talk, you just say, bring the data to support what you are saying. And let us talk.
All right, then BRYAN got a very bright opportunity when he made delegates of the NPP election, because he said NPP in January, at the end of January. Now, when Honorable BRYAN is here NPP delegates, you know, he said something. As a Ghana for Dodonano, Sebi, ebimu di na tem. But BRYAN said we did not take the substance out of the things he was saying. Na yentien sampotia BRYAN ekaye.
Kusasi for any man pieces for omu problem. President Kufuano, owini MPP vote o kusasi. Owini MPP vote o man proceed. President Kufuano, owini MPP vote o kusasi. And we NPP vote the woman policy. And this is a quality conform in I am a Faba and Yapa. And in 2024, apart from a point, a free OT, Ediko upper east, upper west, and northern, upper western region. The Lucy is a woman. It's not and if you are a victim of circumstances, it's not your fault. Time may not anything, but we cannot wait. This situation, I have one price on him, which we are solved in 2028. But the suspicion will not go away, and NPP will not be held ransom and stay in the opposition because of this matter. And that is a fact. We are in this business to win power. And here emotional and here personalities. I'll give you examples. We are here to win power. It is as soon as he gets the Kwame about the 2 years. Only and the NDC always shows us the way. It's no emotions. You do because say you're property, and you've got money. Okay, you're property. Sometimes we get carried away with emotions when we have to do the politics. Me, I would have contested power. I would have contested power. So my election, my election. You can't say that, Papa. And you can't point out fast one. The coin. But my election, you wouldn't be there. We are a political party. Until say, you have got Kamalinu Krano, they are contesting how I 2028. That is what we want to do.
Alright, so these are parts of the Nsema Honorable BRYAN ACHEAMPONG Ekaye. Uti Papaniya, or touchy on a lot of things. Bini say, I like you, Dr. Mahmoud Mia Babi or Fino, any performance or difficult bayano, and so NPP party neni. Honorable BRYAN ACHEAMPONG and some kind of no. Ebium, Tamale Central election or by election on my emergency or Monkono. Honorable BRYAN ACHEAMPONG also spoke on that. Now, not to say how no BRYAN ACHEAMPONG kayano. Mahmoud Bawumia actually to her. No market. Because initially many people thought that BRYAN ACHEAMPONG was part of Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia's camp. Now, on also Tisi Musa or pay position in a dino and or start a car, sa and semno. Now, in your BRYAN ACHEAMPONG who answer now can you? Young go to your as much man soon sembia or the 2 ja. Say because of that reason to the young Tobentia Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia.
To move far banoma nipa. Ni iriya Ghana ni a nabusuafo ewo Ghana ha a ye sore waka Ghana ehia ye nyina ye gumu ni ye ehia ye ni baabi adwane ko a ye te ha ye te ye ho ase a sa oba no benya tema ede ama Ghana fo ma na onko hye obi achi so obi ye na japade watiti no moyiremu otubonsu aye na japade single story mako du enkofa bulldozer enkofa national security nkase yenkobu abadaye Ghana for ma wa abadaye Kennedy ohene AGYAPONG ne yire ewo abadaye na ode eno ebetai na chi ama ni kromfo enso edi akire ama na wie peye ama tumi no a ye hwehwe no se Ghana for any nyina eyefua ne yekonkoden a yetumi ede afemye MPP for afutuo ba ko amesa de ama ene se sabre ya ye wa prapre mu ye nhwe ye nkasa yi me nkasa tietia ya ye ho.
All right, inti honorable asomachire so papa we lawyer ni ba mapa or lawyer ni mapa minimina nkasa personally because oni ni nua nyina akire ma de pen enso nsem wo de tu gane say Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia yere Samira Bawumia Ghana omfi kuru bia so enti enu ntini ye hweso nto ba ntia Samira Bawumia essence according to him Samira Bawumia e fulani ni Ghana nso kuru bia ni ho a e fulani for dia. Secondly, Samira Bawumia eni abadaye essence okoshe obi achi me ko bubu ye rotibo nso fie etuguye. These are facts nsem na ohwe BRYAN ACHEAMPONG awoka asoma kire me sema okan facts but not in the same way anya Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia de. And then Mahmoud Bawumia also got a very brighter opportunity. And also yes there be and some nkrofo we can no. I say omo wo me too much. And if I don't take my time to also address them ebema Ghana for be my amagwen say and some nkrofo we can no. And some no correct. In response Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia so and there must have 2 groups of people we.
In fact, one coordinator of one of the aspirants' campaign recently introduced a new argument. They said that delegates should not vote for me because my wife is not a true Ghanaian. I mean, I've never heard this argument.
If I underline the words I like Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia used here, or say one of the coordinators of one of the aspirants introduced a new concept saying that my wife is not a true Ghanaian. Okay, say we will come and define who a Ghanaian is and who a true Ghanaian is. And then at the end of the show, no one can say you answer to yourself, say, if Samira Bawumia is a true Ghanaian or she is a Ghanaian. I like the choice of words. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, no. Let's continue.
Before, I may not vote for me because my wife is not a true Ghanaian. Wow. I mean, I've never heard this argument before. I mean, and suddenly it is being introduced in our party. We are a very diverse party, covering all religions and all tribes. And it is important that we have unity. If you want to contest with me, come with your vision, come with your vision, come with your ideas, come with your integrity, come with your track record. And that is what we are going to run this campaign on ideas and not on where you come from. When I was defending the party in the Supreme Court in 2013, they did not say I'm a Mabrusima or a Muslim or a non-man. When I was giving lectures and campaigning for the party to come into office in 2016, they did not say I was a Mabrusima, a non-man or a Muslim. When my campaign in the North made the difference in our winning the 2020 election, they did not say I'm a Mabrusima, a non-man or a Muslim. When Samira was campaigning the length and breadth of Ghana for this party, they did not say she was not a true Ghanaian. So what has changed now? Let us be clear that these views do not represent the views of the rank and file of the MPP. They don't. They don't represent the views. The MPP will always triumph over tribal and religious bigots. What we need is unity to go forward and win 2028. Without unity, we cannot win. Let us remember how the divisions cost us the election in 1979. We cannot let that happen again. I have absolute confidence, ladies and gentlemen, that if we work hard, stay united, we will win 2028. But we need to put our house in order. And I believe we are going to put our house in order.
All right, Auntie, hey, as my NPP party.
Jimmy for party job.
Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia so atubia mane can the Japan camp and ACHEAMPONG must say, Madam Fo, you people should shut up. Abra mete court them we defend the party no. One can't them say Mamprusi na me kusase ni. Me yere se Samira Bawumia eye campaign my party no. Nobody said se Samira enye true Ghanaian. Eba ne say na ene mo amuni integrity no. Instead of campaigning on principles and ideas no, you are bringing on these kind of things. On how I like you to tell Mahmoud Bawumia is playing politics here. Because all of a sudden now, I feel Mahmoud Bawumia who says, Ghanaians are listening to you and they mark you. So he has also decided to mark people's speeches. But watch this. Why in the start agrono?
One way or the other, a northerner is going to be president. But when it leaves the north, we don't know when it will come back. It will take.
What you say? Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, when he was in 2024 elections with His Excellency John Dramani Mahama no, ejina simpie so ka say, ono esrimni, John Mahama nso esrimni. Na battle we aye kono. Either so ono esrimni ne bewe ne, anase His Excellency John Dramani Mahama o esrimni e ne bewe ne. Na se ekosrimni ba ko ho a enya de e beba srimni bia ho biem. Meaning if he Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia wins NDC is going to present John Mahama West Nibium Ghana for because I could dia and say Kusirim. And I said John Mahama so we near Ghana for Besaka say Akosirim in Tian for Mono Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. So he is going to draw a distinction between his Sirimni and John Mahama Sirimni in Tian Sam Okawaha. Na we be saying why they started this tribal thing.
It will come back. It will take a long time to go through other regions before it comes back to the north. So if it is coming to the north, do we want it for 8 years or for 4 years? Do we want 8 years or 4 years? You know, I believe that if we get it for 8 years, and with the support of people like AGYAPONG, Clifford Bryman, Addo Saleh, Dr. Chanso, all your children who will come and support me in my government, Savannah will continue.
Say Muduka Munyi Fatias.
So what? Uti sema papa kan ye. He was even naming the names of northerners. Onufi say ono no we near obetimi akọ 8 years. But if his excellency John Dramani Mama so if you say we near obekọ 4 years pe. Enti nipa mo wasiri mo no mo pe 4 years then mo pe 8 years ni. But yo, this comparison, I like you Dr. Mahmoud Beben started here. He started this war. Now who's a kotia no. That is why I say we play the victim. But my men say fa won koni enko bi say me da Bawumia say wo say me da Bawumia. We Ghana ni na say we Fulani ni.
Me de me say kra de ma ho me ti kra ne say. Obo say e dey no mo tsna ho. E ma Fulani ni e be your first lady. Hey! Oman ka say juwana min timi yo. Oman ka say me ninim yo. Oman ka say me nim ka so. Oman ka say me ni wade a me de jumo. Omo say baby am me frinti.
Omo say baby am me frinti. E pa cho Ghana okurome so na Fulani fofi. Ghana ho ayete no. Ana Ghana yete no. Kuroben so ene ka say ha ufi ha wo ye Fulani ni. Ebi ni ho sa. Enti that Samira Bawumia herself believes that she is not a true Ghanaian or she is not a Ghanaian. There are two different things. Two separate different things. You're by convention, by law, by whatever means. You be a Ghanaian, meaning you are a Ghanaian. Yeah, it's a bridge. You were true nationals. To say Finland, you true Finns or any other Ghana for you say about acquire the nationality of Finland. And as a Ghanaian, you want to have or a citizen of country, no. But you two different citizens. You will do true one and then a citizenship by acquisition or by whatever means. So Samira Bawumia and a catcher Ghana for say, or no Samira Bawumia no, or ye Ghanaian but on your true Ghanaian. And you couldn't got it all wrong.
In fact, one coordinator of one of the aspirants' campaign recently introduced a new argument. They said that delegates should not vote for me because my wife is not a true Ghanaian. I mean, I've never heard this argument before. I mean, and suddenly it is being introduced in.
Because say we in a cost at a march and a catch the Ghana for or no Samira Bawumia, she is not a true Ghanaian.
Me de me say kra de ma ho me ti kra ne say. Obo say e dey no mo tsna ho. E ma Fulani ni e be your first lady. Hey!
So what you say? Samira Bawumia rather when she was campaigning, you know, and she thought that she was using this words against John Dramani Mama. And they won't say attorney about the new kunuso. Kama any young masano NPP for
Jimmy for party job.
Next time, election and semna wokano. You should be careful with your choice of words. And yes, sir, it will turn against you. And I like you, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, if he say, well, we now when okay na ACHEAMPONG say madam for unima sema woka. BRYAN say onima sema woka. Yenko tie nchirema BRYAN asan dia ba. NPP party dia go. Yeah, semo.
Second is to deal with the issue
of tribal bigotry. Which tribal bigotry I do not know anything about. Facts are sacred, comments are free. If I meet with senior party officers or party officials across board, we should be able to have a frank indoor conversation. Some things we should be able to talk about amongst ourselves. It will not go out. And when we go out, we agree on what we present to the general public. It cannot be that if we are frank with ourselves internally, it is misconstrued as something else. I have not made any tribal comments statements of any nature anywhere in this country. I have said that the data is obvious. There is an MPP problem and there is a candidate problem. And the candidate problem is unique and it affected us. The MPP problem we may be able to overcome in 3 years. We need to see if we can overcome the candidate problem in 3 years. And if we cannot overcome the candidate problem within 3 years, then the decision is ours. This is something, a conversation that we have internally with party people. And when you have these conversations, they are not tribal comments. Indeed, MPP, sometimes we make certain decisions. I remember when I was the chief of staff to the then chairman, Jacob Echebilamte, decisions were made for Greater Accra that if you are not a GA, there are certain things, constituencies we will not allow you to contest. You cannot come and say you are John Mensah from Kum Ashanti and the MPP will allow you to contest Ododo. Klote Koli, we have the constituency chairperson is even an Akan, but for parliamentary, the party will not allow you. I think we're about 5 constituencies, about 5 or so constituencies that the party took a decision that if you are not a GA, we will not allow you to contest those. It didn't mean that the MPP was a tribalistic party. We went into an election where I supported the whole idea that if we bring Dr. Bawumia, we will get the votes from the north. That if we bring Dr. Bawumia, we will get the vote from the Zongos. He told me, I believed him. He told the whole party, we believed him. Indeed, in the general election, he told the whole country, except that they didn't believe that. And so when we come back to the drawing table, we evaluate those statements, the promises. You promised us that when we bring you, you bring the Zongos. The data shows that the Zongos did not come. You promised us that when we vote for you, you will give us the north is. These are your own words. It was fine then. You can imagine if I was a candidate and I had said anywhere that because I am the candidate, we will get the Akan vote and we will get the Muslim vote, I would have been crucified. It's not possible for me to say that. But it was said. It was said then. It was not, nobody took it out of term, out of context. Nobody accused anybody of being tribal. The statements that I made were facts that I was sharing with party people. It is only those who want to do propaganda that are out to town on it. I have
exactly. In a way, many BRYAN CHEDDAR again 100%. Or say, there were issues with party problems, and there were candidate problem. Party problem no, you bet me solve it. But candidate in this year, go choose the right candidate, you be a problem. And some of the things I like you Dr. Bawumia, I will catch the MPP for any Ghana for they say, oh ye kremuni inti ye maunko na unko je kremo fu vote mra. O ye siremni, ubetima je sirem fu vote aba. Ubetima je zongo fu vote aba. Obie no kan say eye tribalism na wo ye. Ba o ko ye no, those votes no did not come. So as a party, we need to sit down and analyze say na kan no. Was it fit for purpose? Say anya fit for purpose there. We need to kick you out. Alaji Dr. Bawumia is complaining. Yenti nsembia Alaji Dr. Bawumia. Eko gina and Kremofu sorry fee a cassette his excellency John Dramani Mama abera na ye invite John Mama amana ko Maldi program na ye yenase tie nsem Alhaji Dr. Mahmood Bawumia e ka fa his excellency John Dramani Mama
duka mun yi fatiya mu bashi sai yi tuban na ba haka ba Malam John Atakbir
Allahu Akbar Alhaji Dr. Mahmood Bawumia ekoto his excellency John Dramani Mama ewo yenu no Muslimi for program and invite the candidate then so metana se bi no was John Dramani Mama say hey ene de ene John Mama nyina be wo hore yensa aya nkremosun because be fe na Malam John religious politics ene na Mahmood Bawumia na ma woye ma wo say ene eternity and he's speaking against it integrity no one kasa Alhaji Dr. Mahmood Bawumia kan he needs to start to establish it and that is the reason why Nana Dan Kwaku Ado energy say Mahmood Bawumia the team tun time in kana hu biem me nya hwe mani bi me ko clutch we wonyini papa we NPP near take your time listen to the presentation I made and then make your point out of it. Powerhouse NPP is an account party that I believe so, but they chose Alhaji Dr. Mahmood Bawumia and gave him a very brilliant opportunity to prove to Ghanaians NPP yes anamotie. When he came, he messed it up. Or messing it up totally. Obian himself, Papa messing him up. But it's like everybody fears to tell him, Master, you messed up. People fear. But NPP for more problem, I don't know. If they will understand that, they will understand. If they are not going to understand that, they're not going to understand. It might be more Juma. Let's move on. Because next time, they'll be very careful. But I want NPP, third vice chairman, be a friend chairman Buga. Only Kevin Taylor. Chairman Buga, actually, Kevin Taylor, basa. Now, I'm going to address that particular issue and tell you the reason why he's doing that. No one will say, we are going and that's a big general to Obama and PPP ma. One cast watem. Yenti and some Buga, Eka, Efa Kevin Taylor.
Per se, me use platform we na ma sending caution or street warning to Kevin Taylor. Me, Alhaji Masaudu, I never mentioned Kevin Taylor in my interview. But me no me through Kevin Taylor. But we make a comment to be on per se miss me mauti as I said the one ne kasano. Me nya ordinary person like the way we know Kevin Taylor yano. Me a national third vice chairman of a biggest opposition party. The party barely now 8 months ago we were governing this country. So on him. Me kura me ba na send sa video mami. O si me no o bomedi se o se me sala na ntwi.
Oh, okay.
O si o bomedi se
sala cow.
We o si me sala cow. Be se mi kire ni se sanka onimi shira. E wo sala cow no. Odi frame no. Anka de bia wo bebo medim Alhaji Masaudu sala cow. To we Muslims.
So why
no. So no nim say adida cham no didi. But me ye salakau. Me ye salakau. Me ma jitum say me salakau. But onu wo ye NDC krama wo abotel.
Oh.
Or so we should take it. Look, let me tell you.
He said it on his platform.
Okay, look.
He said it on his platform. What man?
Who dey tie me? Who dey mami bi?
No me who dey all kind no. Dey who me say. Senkamene Calvin o ha no fro salakawa. Despite say wo wajatum say salakawa.
Media
Nkame catch and so on. But I will not sit here. Wabra oni ha. Ya only opportunity to defend himself. Now what friend no din fufuru.
Okay, who dey okay Mati. What we say Osaka say o say me ebikura me di kura say me din kura me to me try. But onim me. The one to me try ne din NDC National First Vice Chairman. Onu na ye
let's three bullets.
I don't know. Oh, but me manotia unim okasano. I want him to understand something. Yeah. Okay, who dey tell. Okay. The person me catch and say so onim me me gina bre o Ghana ha and you know one in terms of education my education credential has no doubt. One, me kuta 3 degrees. Me kuta first degree in education. Education in social studies, which are obtained in Valley View University. You should go and check the records. Me kuta masters, 2 masters. Me kuta masters in agribusiness. Me are the best students in agric. Me gina honum no. West Africa ha. So omo pe nkromfo omo so agric pa. Me Alhaji Masaudu me come. It is not about speaking English practically. Me I did agric engineering. Me gina honum no. Me one of the best agriculturalists in Ghana here. So on me kuta me masters. I did a masters in communication development.
Development communication. At GRG. Wow. Sa certificate we mukutano. How many of unknown NDC for the kuta? Or no, apart from marriage certificate, no, on me certificate or no, Kevin Taylor me. They say one more boss.
Me, among the Kevin to several years in Techima Senior High. Uncle Techima Senior High. No, bisa say Alhaji Masaudu. Obe home record ho as a teacher of senior high school. Me wa nkwara me boasting over 1 million students. Me chiro over there. Binomo are big officers. Almost sending me greetings. Almost sending me adia me to me abo mudini. Some of my students even this thing send me Kevin Taylor video. Now me say man sa guy no who say when yan yanko me na me ko ware me yere etuo no ntwe bibia ware no boko ene no wuye na me sa yi no boko de bata chiba si dan edi me yere tu ho enya me yere na ware me so ono wo yere ware wo no cox okoyen agima ma wo yere ti ho eye wo agima ye ndisa agima no muntu aka wo agima be na wo ye me Kevin Taylor wouldn't me my bomb bra and sana me a politics wo. On beside the only me 30 years ago. Me bra me a contractor, me a timber contractor for about 30 years. Me a jima obiani me. But who me sano since me sorry ye me business. Me do obika one so obi wo Ghana how I say me as now me no can obi me do obika on expose me say Alhaji odi me kase me sorry me free adia me Alhaji Masaudu obi so obi wo ho ka say me Alhaji Masaudu ma ba be free na adia ka tira say Alhaji Masaudu wa free ma adia me mbo busia me
enumja nye o enumja abro
hey enumja de nye o wo
enumja nye akwa we titachima timber market wo enumja oja. But anyway, let me move on. I'm not going to address him personally. I don't want to do that because we need me to no. So I don't want to go there. But let's focus in. Now, when I say I'm going to market Kevin correspond ya. Krachi Edgasano. With the T. I am building a point here. T and Sema Krachi Kaya very carefully on agenda 111. Oh yeah, Messiah the one call. Was a president, was a president John Dramanama to crying. Now, Udari will be him. Yentino.
John Mahama today and NDC are using.
Do you know why it's?
You see, are using our road money. Sika MPP kitu hono and no omudi charter expensive jet. I charter expensive jet no the soro. Oh you own bed no John Mahama daho no dware no. No, was so. Me see, flight. Private jet, no, Uncle Japan, no way, no. Me see,
Japan, private jets,
jet man,
oh,
me see, what, Massa, jet be a who be fat, not any Ghana highways, a chartered flight.
And
or say jet, you have a fine Ghana highways, piano, a chartered flight. I call we talk it at 3 master's degrees.
Hey, Hanum Gadiano.
So what you say? NPP party.
Jimmy for party job.
Now, Kwame, we are man and see wow. Or say John the Many Mama Edgar will him because sending a Ghana for who's another Danko for the Berium, they want to equate the same thing to His Excellency John the Many Mama. That would be Kai, I call him on Chilama Deda. My bisa quest test for Chila de order. But anyway, Miss me personally, Miss me in person, or back as a personal attack. That is why I decided to leave that alone. And the chitty, let's leave me like that. Cratchy, we are. Or say a befra another match. Say John the Money Mama NDC by 8 months no. Agenda 111 yam call TNE.
The government that have lied to Ghanaians that me ba agenda 1111 me ba mbedan I'll push one mbe completely nyina kai your mama upe scammer upe politician where scam obetima scam nipa ejitumi eye John Dramani Mahaba or see oba all the agenda 1111 or no oba obedan obe complete bisa no nde agenda 111 ko omun kana asem. This is a scam party.
Crachina oye adwo attachment market also a test teacher ebe catch the NDC for no John Mama say scammers.
Hey, anunga dia nyo.
Waho nipa na se nitine ho aboko a ompe na se woko kansa asem wei na se Kevin Taylor nyawo na otwa bowa krachi so ntibi da. Now let's do something. Agenda 111 obi ani agenda 111 yenko bisa na Nado Dankwa Akufo-Addo say edie potin ene efe na agenda 111 and how many months and a won Nado Dankwa Akufo-Addo udi besi agenda 111 no awie inti ansa fi na Nado Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Chairman Bugano Kasayano, don't forget so NPP National Third Vice Chairman, so he ought to know better. You Mr. President Nado Dankwa Akufo-Addo.
And I'm delighted to be here with you in CHEDDAR to cut the sword symbolically for the commencement of construction of these hospitals across the country. So far, 88 out of the 101 sites have been identified, including this one at CHEDDAR, the site for the construction of the ACHEAMPONG District Hospital. Work on the other 87 sites also commence today. The acquisition of the remaining 13 sites will be completed shortly for work to begin. Each hospital is being constructed at a cost of $16.88 million United States dollars. That is 12.8 million United States dollars for construction and 4 million United States dollars for medical equipment. All the hospitals are to be completed in 18 months. All the hospitals are to be completed in 18 months. All the hospitals are to be completed in 18 months.
Into what the President Nado Dankwa Akufo-Addo then catch the Ghana for say all the Agenda 111 hospitals will be completed in 18 months. In 18 months. That was President Nado Dankwa Akufo-Addo. In the 18 months, President Nado Dankwa Akufo-Addo went back to Parliament and said something on the floor of Parliament. Maybe Chairman Bugada doesn't know. I'm educating him. So President Nado Dankwa Akufo-Addo, when he went back to Parliament, stood on the floor of Parliament and promised Ghanaians something. Nado Dankwa Akufo-Addo said Ghana is a serious country. Kabana ya chenatum. Let's listen to him whilst Nado Dankwa Akufo-Addo was on the floor of Parliament.
Speaker, I have to report, like all major construction projects, it is evident that the initial schedule we gave for the completion of Agenda 111 was overly ambitious. Identifying suitable sites around the country, for example, has turned out to be even more problematic than had been anticipated. I am now able to say that a great deal of the preparatory work has now been completed, and work has started at 87 of the 111 sites. I've been assured that preliminary work on the remaining 24 sites is ongoing. We have every intention of seeing this project through to its successful end, which will enable me to commission all 111 hospitals before I leave office on 7th January. Every intention of seeing this project through to its successful end, which will enable me to commission all 111 hospitals before I leave office on 7th January 2025.
And the president then, former president, Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, Ejina Parliament, catch the Ghana for say, or no president Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo will make sure say, we all the 111 hospitals before 1st of January 2025. NPP third national vice chairman say one thing. But rather no, he is telling the president say, John the minimum for 8 months, in your agenda 111 hospital no. No minimum say mesere. Nanado aka 1 month, amana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo amamuna ba wie no. He again told Ghanaians say, agenda 111 or catch it so the 18 months the basi one CMU or cycle catch it so be and sana will free akumia so no. Ni nyina 70% completed. Na yemfa to abasobody no emma papa bi obebo papa ni di. Pachuti na do ye.
Of course, predictably, when I announced to the world that this is something I wanted to undertake, I was met by the naysayers. He's lying, it's a gimmick, this is political gimmickry, he's looking for votes, cannot happen, blah, blah, blah. Well, yes. Well, what I can say is that today, in the month before I'm ready to hand over, 70% of the Agenda 111 projects have been completed. I'm telling this story because of the role of Muhammadu Bawumia in it. I'm telling this story because of the role of Muhammadu Bawumia in it. The final product, the method about how we would go about constructing this mass infrastructural development, he had a say, but there were others who had a say. But the genesis, the idea that began the whole reflection, was something that came from him.
What I say? Ex-President Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo say, Agenda 111, I've been putting in a field like Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and say, or no, I can't want man to manifest a kumia so. Now all the Agenda 111 projects in Yana, I do 70%. 1%. Maybe 18 months in the bay. I could in a parliament. Maybe in Indian summer hand over. It do 1 month, no. Or say, I can't 70%. But now no me a program channel say, or more bois. Bien who 20% quite near do. And then NPP third vice chairman say, John Dramani Mama be president. Now when Timia fa 8 months, and me agenda 111 projects no. I was a sebe, so you'll be a white being with daho. Kaya. You don't see this kind of words. That is why Kevin Taylor says, on your show, Secretary, we could school them with that. The third vice chairman of NPP say, on Kaise, or Mankasa Gina Ghana for him can just hear the 18 months in ABC 111 hospitals. President Kujina Parliament edi tro e de chere Ghana for. One was say send a medical kind in any serious nation nke na Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo ejina court because utie na Addo ya okan sika o de besi hospitals no e chere time frame de ni bedi nti sika no way. But these are key questions as Ghanaians no we need to start to ask because here me say this kind of questions every political actors who they will keep on deceiving us. And that is my worry. So yeah, they will keep deceiving us. We are Ghana near Mr. Rama Wabian Naho. Answer now bit and some way say would do be at them no. Take your precious time. Nebisa on key questions. Say about the same Nkrufu will be your opportunity because if Chairman Buga thing say so between the 8 months every agenda 111 hospitals there about the ten and abaye no ntimi for over 2 years anyway. Because he ought to know and he understands. Because utie nsem ya you know say unimasema worker.
The government that have lied to Ghanaians that me ba agenda 1111 me ba mbedan I'll push one mbe completely mama.
See the government that has lied to Ghanaians because he thinks that he's referring to John Dramani Mama. But you understand is on not buying now. How long did they promise Ghanaians say the baby agenda 111? But as people we need to ask these kind of things because it's a Ghana for the year they will keep on deceiving us. But anyway, I've finished with my job. My duty here, sending my mood about me, I present the data. Now one can say the data no. Hey, mama one can say home.
Data brings light. People who don't like light don't like data. So when you see a politician trying to talk, you just say, bring the data to support what you are saying. And let us talk.
All right, it's data now. We use the data almost every day because we don't forget data because of the internet. And anytime we need it, we will get it. And by the grace of God, some of us see it. Me, what I did research, then we keep all these kind of videos because what's I'm baby ma, we will ask you. Of course, no reading. Chairman Bugade say him no. Many na teach my timber market. Or video here with him. Or you want to teach my timber market. But anyway, normal or you know say you will be no kakra ben there.
Hey, anum gadi enyo.
Enti je nya Chairman Buga. Wa ko frema cho so na Kevin Taylor. Momo nkonko. Ye be ni be defeating yoko. And this is the debate with Munufi saying any day they can be any William Munufi Amankona. I just take my time and then do analysis and present it to you. But I'm okay, CHEDDAR and I Kwame Bediako. Papa, 2024 December, yo, hey. I'm on for bar politics room with 4 of them. But I'm okay, Papa, fine gentleman. But feel I'm to many tearful. I also a person to say Kwame Nkrumah. Now, yeah, Papa about political scene him had a lot of controversies. The key among the partner about could be okay. That's a Ghana for the 9 years in Tini.
Chimehu mahwe nkrofo kro uko Dubai omukra no na ye desert enso omukra nya epo abaho oma dreje ayade ba kwa mpese me yema kumase man ha se me dreje ama epo ebi abaha na yetimi de ship ni ade so de normal ba 2024 na afeni ebetwi container 1111 from Accra Harbor edi aba itema habo edi aba kumase ebi okra itiki be 6 hours and sana container ba ko pe wedura ebi dura no so na normal be se half e wo container ni nyina ebi agubu abra we railway anase we nsu a within 1 hour na container 500 eduru ha say wo pese wo ship 500 su ko ba bia wa ship ko ba bi nti I'm here. I want to open the western corridor.
All right. Papa is more kind. Hey CHEDDAR. Yeah, say but I believe that if he went for the train, it would have made sense than to say also bed dredge posa kusi kumase. I didn't know, but we are not the pone kwa. But anyway, this is a topic for another discussion for he himself because he already knew what he was going to talk about. But what Nana Kwame Bediako airbar prior to the electionary campaign, or the name of be by I think say just say it's was analyze it. To need the 12 pillars for economic freedom. The 12 pillars of economic freedom. If I question be to was it the misa because as youth, we sometimes need to go back to politics and analyze and someone can near say if these things were doable in our societies. Because always, I've said it on so many platforms. I don't want to be saying this kind of words. Maybe he also has a point he wants to address. The 12 pillars, but could be a woman or yes, or the 12 ministers. Any baby mind. 12 ministers pay. Any baby mind. Now say, okay, a year when the 2 bodies here. I mean, go back here. Then had you have. The 12 minutes a B and a that way. And I Kwame Bediako and some more kind of a B that way. But you take your time and then we're all gonna go through. Inti my phone free number 1. The policies and programs in the be. Or see, he will run a government of only 12 ministers. So let's all think as people. Is it possible to run Ghana with 12 ministers? But in the comment section, I've been chiribia, ubitimi ediaba. Because I don't want to say said Uncle Untimenye. His Excellency John Dramani Mama can say, or the little bit over 60 ministers, say it's possible, it's doable. So far, and now do the 125 ministers in the boom mine. Almost half, and the president currently is using, but nobody can tell me, say, and their President John Dramani Mama administration is not performing. So I think, say, it's doable. Which means, I don't know, I'm not saying, say, I'm not quite Bediako, they don't see doable there. But maybe it's doable. Let's take it from that. So in the comment section, do you think, say, I'm not quite Bediako beat me here? ABM number 2, or see raise $50 billion by monetizing Ghana's citizenship. People will invest in return for Ghana passport. And also there, I've seen a lot of countries also do it. I think that Portugal has a policy like that. If I stand to be corrected, I stand to be corrected though. I think that Estonia also has a policy like that. You need to invest some amount of money. Other countries, Guyana, money and stuff. I think I stand to be corrected though. Wow, we may make your own research and also update me on that. Say you invest some amount of money and then in return they will give you their citizenship. So Nana Kwame Bediako also says that he wants to go on that path. I don't know. Do you think that is doable? We and say ontimenye because you can't answer them first. But time is telling us that all these things are doable because other countries are doing so. And do you think that somebody will invest $50 billion in Ghana in return of Ghanaian citizenship? And then these kind of things. Let's discuss it and see. Number 3, also prints our own monies. Have a borderless continent for trade and investment and unite Africa as one. So the Kwame Bediako say we are not going to print our monies anywhere. And if we are talking about today, who say Burkina Faso and say for no, how France and the print of music at the moment. So is it a policy? Nana Kwame Bediako to buy any bit or more area gradually and answer then. We need to discuss this as people. I just wanted to build this like a family platform. Do you know any idea about it? You can also bring it and then we all do the discussions. Intosi is going to unite Africa as one. I don't know how he's going to do that because Kwame and Nkrumah started. They couldn't succeed with that, but maybe it's doable. Let's thank him for that. Nana Kwame Bediako 12 pillars in the Bayano is what I'm taking you through. Also change Senate into National Insurance Fund. Contributors can go for their money at any time. And the Senate can also be changing the iron National Insurance Fund. Now, who contribute at any point in time, you can get it. In a way, I do agree with Nana Kwame Bediako on this because Obi Awatana Finland be our test to me say Finland, Juma, you join a union similar to Senate. But anytime I will get unemployed, the union will be paying you 80% of your salary now, for a period of 2 years until you get employment. Anytime you are unemployed, you go back to that union and then they will pay you 80% of your income and your salary. Then for 2 good years. So in Finland, you get 3,000 euros in a month. Now we are unemployed in a period of 2 years. Contribution I'm a year to an insurance fund similar to what Nana Kwame Bediako is proposing here. We pay me 80% of that 3,000 euros for a period of 2 years. Okay, Burkina Faso still have CFA. I think so. So maybe they're going to change at a point, but that is what I heard said they were going to do. Powerhouse is easier said than done. Anyway, that's also good. Something like that because I think say Nana Kwame Bediako. But anyway, the benefit of the doubt sometimes, maybe I could beat me here, but he didn't get the opportunity to do it. Sometimes that's what I wanted to discuss. Number 5, also create National Sovereign Wealth Fund to replace IMF. No more borrowing. Anyway, Nana Kwame Bediako say, "Yankopon kwa yini se frubi wa jimbeso." Do I think I am call IMF ko bobo se biem? Do you think that is doable? And I say, what Powerhouse? What do you also make of that? These were not Kwame Bediako's policies and programs. Or yes, or they took Ghana for any, but I don't know. As all can some say Ghana for any and because some not can. I say not so too much. Cheddar, I don't know. Yeah, say or say number 6. They don't call the 12 pillars in construct Ghana's first water transportation and the 800 kilometers of railway line across the country. I had them who say I said na Kwame Bediako see to Kumasi no and I said no person didn't answer Kwame be a church in another form. That is what I think though. But in a way, these were among his policies. Name also beat me here. Also, about construct Ghana's first water transportation and the 8,000 kilometers of railway line across the country. Na now the go for the non can same way you be. Emma me amen na Professor Christopher me konfi and na ko gina koti. E be ka so be 3 e be fa wiem. Ama NPP4.
Chimi for party job.
I don't know how CHEDDAR was going to do this, but anyway, these among others were part of his policies and programs. Also, they were found the 12 pillars of CHEDDAR. Or the buy, I don't know. Also, he was going to build a food and gold reserve to serve Ghana for the next 100 years. Now, the next 100 years, in our Ghana. Politics, that's a move. The more politicians, can say, no, maybe you know, be some question going to me, sir. But anyway, that is his vision. Until he couldn't make it. But it says, I buy food for baby, we are. And that's a tappy. Or are we going to leave it just like that? Number 8, he's going to make Ghana a tech hub, build a nuclear power plant, and and construct a renewable energy infrastructure. All these kind of things, I think they're building a technological hub is doable, but nuclear and other things, and I think that Kwame Bediako might just be daydreaming. Anyway, I'm not going to give my own conclusions. In the comment section, also beat me to BRYAN, because building a tech hub there, I think that is something easy. Anybody can do it. Uko, who was, I think, say, Honorable Bejira Ayibida. And a lot of our politicians have actually done it, but the only thing is that we don't prioritize it very well. Uko, the chairman of Elizabeth Ofusojare, minister now, Honorable, attempted to build one of it. I think she constructed a library. I was the chairman of two of them when she was commissioned, and I was there with her. So all these kind of policies and programs are already in the system. But as to how the serious issues, it's something that we need to check. The president now has promised that he's going to train 1 million coders in the coders program. I think all these are like making Ghana a tech hub. So it's also doable. CHEDDAR will have flooded Chebi Konongo and a so pronounce all the cook master the meaning baby and all the coffee. Maybe or the coffee be there still or the coffee him. I don't even know how he planned to do that, but or the Chidimo by hands, I say I'm fat. So he took it like that and I'll copy baby at Number 9, so he's going to change the curriculum by leveraging on skills that turn students into entrepreneurs and not job seekers. That is also a very good thing, because when you're able to train students, especially something like TVET, those kind of things is good. Polytechnics, the traditional polytechnics in Ghana were supposed to train people to do something with their hands. But now, as you are turning the theoretical aspect, but we don't get any practicals, and so we only graduate from these schools and still go to seek for jobs. So that is something I believe it was a good point, and I'm Kwame Bediako on the buy. Why are we not implementing these kind of policies? Time will tell. Number 10, all our mineral resources put on the blockchain to prevent galamsey. Well, anyway, in the comment section, send me kind of let's share ideas, elaborate more on it. Now, I know what he meant by that. I also have my viewpoint, but what do you think of it? Or how do you think that he was going to do all these kind of things? Because in them, I say, Bank of Ghana, I introduced something like a gold coin. Because these kind of things, I almost say, and now Kwame Bediako to be by that gold coin system, to be by, and Nam1 to be by. How different is that of Bank of Ghana from these two? And how are we going to do it? 11 point, build a national Web3 platform and migrate all statutory and national data to a blockchain platform to curb corruption. That is also something doable. I believe, if you really want to control corruption, We need to do all those kind of things. Now you're under one umbrella. But my question was, who was going to manage those kind of things? One thing I have seen about all these kind of business people, Canada, Japan, and Kwame Bediako, they think governing a nation is like running your own business. Canada, Japan has been saying, so me run Ghana, the same run a business. But Ghana is not a one man's property. It's a nation with laws, with constitution. So how are you going to do these kind of things? But anyway, let's see. And then the 12th point, and Kwame Bediako on the buy, and they say, build Hollywood studios, help artists own their catalogs, musicians earning resources, royalties, and owning the distributions and recording platform. Shatawale new pani. Anyway, I was a form for Shatawale about platform so. The Nana Bediako say Nema Ananko president or but I think that we need to build upon all these kind of things. Now if the Yama team move on so some people were actually proposing behind the scene. Now you have say me permanent you bet me chirebi as a national debate to discuss all these kind of things. There many bet me home. It is all any question be Mr. Bet me in the comment section. Like, let's do this kind of discussions together. Channel a 1 hour with Munufi. It used to be like that, but for now it's a debate with the Munufi. And will be now names a channel a 1 hour with Munufi Biano. Name has been changed to the debate with Munufi because I wanted to build a debate as a family platform. I in a way to me the D and come album. Me din any William Munufi Amankona. Yakopon and one tell. Yami Adam Wachena. I'll be back on same time. Na me know a discussions no album. Yami and sign one tell. Bye-bye.
We will make access to mobile phones affordable. And the mobile companies, you're betting kata in Kitaho. Now the mobile phones, I'm a nipa, not Mafia, what here, 1 city, 2 cities, 1 city, 2 cities, Kakaka, Namotia, mobile phone before 80, Yadisa, scheme, every Obia. Because we need everybody to have a smart device. We will make it easy